Have you ever wondered what to do with your customers? Like, you got these new customers, you don't know what to do with them, you don't know how to follow up. Let's talk about that today. So my name is Aimée Darling. I'm an independent Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I just want to throw the disclaimer out there that Plexus Worldwide, nor do I ever claim to heal anything about our products or make false claims with our comp plan. But I want to talk to you today from all my experience with customer service. So one of the things you want to think about is from the moment you meet somebody, or you are adding them into your crazy train of Plexus because they're family and you're going to start working with them as a customer, you then have a commitment to that relationship. There are some things you can do in the questions you ask and also in the way you set this up on the front end. From the moment that I work with them and I meet them, I will then say, so I mostly contact people via Facebook Messenger or text. What works best for you? And they tell me. Now, because I'm a professional person, I have office hours. I don't just call people back any old time. I'm not having dinner with my family and somebody calls me and says they need something and I'm jumping, because we're not a desperate company. So if you have that habit, knock that off. So you want to set it up with them. What is it exactly that they can expect from you? And I will then, if I know they bought a triplex, I will send them directions. I stick to the directions that the product has on the container. We are a simple company with an effective product at a great price point that is clean. So if that's my mindset, I know that they're going to want what I have to offer. I also know that everybody comes to the table with a history of whatever their issues are and a history of what they've done to help themselves and a lot of bad habits. So that being said, I create a partnership with them. And this isn't perfect and it doesn't always go well. And sometimes people don't call me back. Yes, even me. A lot. It's crazy. I don't know why people do that. They just don't. So what I look at is, number one, how do I contact them? How can they contact me? Number two, how do they use their product when it shows up? I tell them it's going to come to them via US Postal Service. Don't leave it outside in the heat desert. Get that product in the house. Now, Plexus Worldwide does not tell you to take all the products at once, nor do they tell you in the triplex to separate them. I teach to separate them, and that's just my nutritionist background. As a master nutrition therapist, I was always taught to do one thing at a time, and so I just do that because I want a person to track, okay, you started with Slim for 2 days. How are you feeling? And that's one of the questions I ask. Tell me what you're enjoying. 2 days after they start, tell me what you're enjoying, tell me what you're noticing. Sleep, mood, craving, tell me. And I'm looking forward to that. Little bits of quick information. When they say, well, it's in a bag and I haven't even started it. Seriously? I use a lot of humor because that's just me. But I will say, oh my gosh, you're kidding. So I have given them an invitation, or we're Facebook friends now, and I have added them to a team Facebook group that I co-run that's for our customers only, and it's for team and customers. And I've added them to that, and I usually have welcomed them, and there's resources in there, and I'll say, okay, have you accepted that? Oh my gosh, you're kidding. We're going to run a contest, and you're going to miss it. You got to start this product. Drink it now. And so whatever the relationship is, if they're quiet, then I'm quiet, and if they're fun, then I'm more fun. But they got to start. Okay, they invested in this. A couple days later, I do the same thing with the ProBio 5. A couple days later, I do the same thing with the BioCleanse, or the back that up. Slim, BioCleanse, ProBio 5. That's the order I do it. And then I'll keep following up. And then if I don't hear from them, then I'll ask them, did you get your product order? I'm just curious so I know how to support you best. My whole stance is, how can I support you best? And I do not give them every piece of information that I have ever learned about any of our products and what they could or could possibly not do for them based on why they were originally interested in it. Don't do that. Those are things you keep in your arsenal, right? Videos and articles and things that they might need more information on later, but you don't dump it all on them at one time, because then you need reasons to get back a hold of people if you're not hearing from them. Okay, so after they've been on the product, it takes about 10 days for my customers to start getting on all the product, and they're typically then engaging in our group on Facebook. I love that. I love when they ask questions. I love when they have great experiences. I love when they have funky experiences, because all the other people are on there that are either brand new or been around for a long time. Now, in our product line, we see trends, and that's how we know how to answer questions. So when I call and I'm talking to them and they're saying, I had this happen, I'll say, that's fabulous. You're on the right track. You never want to believe, you're not a doctor and you're not their doctor, and you're a salesperson of supplements. So you want to remember that it's their decision to keep going. It's their decision to decide if they love it or don't love it. And I just kind of look at things and I'll say, well, is that a deal breaker? Or I'll ask, are you willing to troubleshoot this? And when they say, well, yes, I am, of course. So I'll say, okay, well, tell me how much water you've been drinking. Because maybe in my 3 years of experience mind, I am realizing that they just don't have any water. And they'll say, well, often. Well, what's often? Well, maybe like a glass after I drink my coffee. Okay, would you be willing to get an app on your phone to remind you? Would you be willing to do a log where you're logging what you're drinking? Well, I don't like water. Well, would you be willing to add some frozen fruit? Would you be willing to put it by your desk? Would you be willing to drink it first thing in the morning before you drink coffee? Whatever they're willing to do, that's what you're asking. Well, I always forget my Slim. Would you be willing to take it to work with you? Would you be willing to look at adding lemon to it? Whatever it is they're running into that they're saying they're not loving or they are loving, I am asking them what they're willing to do next, because it's their health journey and I'm just here as a guide. And so that's where I would look at when they say, I just don't like this. I've been using this for 60 days. And I'll say, it's not a problem. I want them to keep a log of what they're experiencing if they will, even if it's just simple. Give me the date that problem stopped happening. Give me the date that this next wonderful non-scale victory happened. Because as we go on in our relationship, I want to refer back to that. So I keep notes too. And I'm cheering for them. And when I'm keeping notes, then when they come back and say, well, I don't know, I'm not to my health goal. And really what they're saying is that it took me 10 years to get to this place, but I'm really expecting it to happen in 60 days. But I'm just now starting to be consistent with the product. And I haven't changed my diet yet. That's what's really happening. I've been that person too. Oh, well. What you then now have is you've got remembering, right? You can say, well, are you still having this and this and this and this? And they'll say, yeah, I have had people continue on our triplex for 100% different reason than they originally were brought to it, because they have now realized that something else amazing is now balanced in their body. And they don't want to quit because they have that. And it was their quality of life is now improved. And so it's worth it to them. So that's why you have them keep track. Am I all crazy about, this is what we got to do and this is how you use it? Well, in a perfect world, that would be what would happen. But my customer service is important and being able to get back a hold of people. So if you're not having good customer service, you've got to start. And that's where, we got to think about, we are a company that's driven by our products. We don't buy inventory. Our numbers are not because ambassadors are buying inventory. Our millions of crazy dollars is because we are offering this product to lots of people. Okay. So to end this time together, I want you to think about, if you're following up with them 2 days, 4 days, 6 days, and then in like 2 weeks, what happens when they want to become an ambassador? Well, here's where it's key that you've had some kind of relationship brewing with them. When they say, gosh, I just feel so good, whatever they're saying, I ask. So here we are around day 20. And I'll say, Susie Q, I'm hearing you tell me all these crazy things. And did your family notice yet? How about your coworkers? And when and she's like, and I'll say, well, here's what I'm thinking. Now I say the same thing every time, but I'm not going to speak so fast. I'm not going to say, well, you should just become an ambassador. I don't do that. I will literally have her own the idea because it's not my idea. Maybe she doesn't want to be. I'll say, well, you're telling me about all these people. I'm curious. Do you want to continue to get healthy, or are you interested in getting paid to get healthy? And let that just sit there. And then they'll say, well, I want to get paid to get healthy. Okay, well, you have the opportunity to, and it's an opportunity. I don't just recruit any old buddy. I don't want Flapjack Crazy on my team unless I can't help it. So it's an opportunity. I don't offer if she is Flapjack Crazy. So that's where I would say, you have the opportunity to get your products at wholesale, but you also have your opportunity with that. You can offer it to those people. And then you have the opportunity of getting a paycheck from Plexus Worldwide. And she goes, really? Well, and then she'll say, I don't know if I could do that. And then I'll say, can you learn? Because I know I'm willing to help you, right? But I ask, can you learn? And I just sit there. And then she's like, well, of course I can learn. Well, then let's go. And then I walk her through, or him, through the website on how to become a preferred customer or retail customer, how to upgrade as a team member, and how to hit all the buttons. And I do it with them because I'm not ever doing anything for people. I'm empowering them. However, if I just say, okay, we'll catch up with that later, next thing you know, her preferred auto ship comes, and then, she's on her next layer of whatever. And I want her to get going while she's excited because I owe that to her. So customer service, so important. The fortune is in the follow-up. They will bring you new team members. They will bring you new customers. They will refer people to you all day long. And the key is that you don't know everything, but you're going to help them to think about what they're doing so that you can build your business, because you're always going to have customers and team members, because that is the balance of riding a good bicycle in this business, and not just a unicycle. We ride both sides, customers and team members. Yes, most of them turn into team members. Why wouldn't they? They're going to get paid to get healthy.